This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey everyone, welcome to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. We are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with my son Anthony Ray. In today's show, we will be talking about sanitary clipping our dogs. Some of you may know what that is, some of you may not. But we're going to talk and explain it all when we come back after these messages.
Hey cat people, litter box smells always on your mind? Think about your cat, not the box, with World's Best Cat Litter, the litter that delivers big odor control in a tiny package. World's Best Cat Litter harnesses the concentrated power of corn to trap odors deep inside the litter. Ready to knock out smells and use less litter? Find World's Best Cat Litter at Target, Walmart, and in your local grocery and pet stores.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio, guys. Once again, I'm Rudy V, along with my son Anthony Ray. Today we're talking about sanitary clipping our dogs. Again, some of us might know what that is, some of us may not know what that is, but I'm going to be real blunt with it, guys. It's clipping the private parts. You know, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we're clipping their private parts for a really, really good reason. We're literally shaving the penis, the vulva, the little sphincter area. That's what this show is about, because that's what we like to talk about. Crazy stuff like that dog groomers go through every day of their lives. So we like to pull it all together and call it a sanitary clip, because it does just that. It keeps our dogs sanitary. You know, so have you done your sanitary clipping lately, Anthony? Or?
Well, first of all, before I even answer that, I prefer to call it the sphincter clip. I just think, although sanitary clip, I could see why they changed it to that. Yeah, I think it should be known that it would make it a lot more easy for everybody to just know right off the bat what you're talking about if we just started calling it the sphincter clip.
Sphincter, exactly.
But as far as your question, yeah, I use a Norelco trimmer.
Really?
For my own manscaping sanitary clips. It's kind of like a 10 blade. You know?
Oh, really? It's like a 10, like an Andis 10 blade.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
You could use an Andis 10 blade, but
I think you should, right? The 10 blade that's a good blade to use.
You do a great job, but all kidding aside, the number 10 blade that we use on these sanitary clips is the most commonly used, safest blade to use. And the reason for that is because the teeth in that blade are very close together. Unlike other blades, skip tooth blades, like a number 5, a 7, a 4 blade, etc. You never want to use those types of blades when doing a sanitary clip, because they'll cut the dog. They'll catch the skin real easily. They'll cause nicks. They'll cause cuts. So it's kind of like you just definitely want to use a safe blade, which is usually a number 10 or possibly a 15 blade. Again, these are the safe blades. You want to be careful. Like Anthony's not sensitive areas, like his back, he needs a chainsaw. So because you're just a hairy kid. You were born hairy.
That's
very
true.
hairy
That's
person.
I guess I can't really argue that. I'm definitely hairy. No argument there. Yeah. But it's funny you mentioned skipped teeth, because for those of you who don't know, my dad's skipped teeth have cut his mouth in the past. Your own skipped teeth.
I'm getting terrified of my teeth. I went to the dentist. I got the midlife thing going, dude. I got the receding gum line. I got a tooth that's going to give any day now. You know what I'm saying? It's just
any moment it can go.
I'm getting nervous, man. These things happen.
Well, I'm sorry to bring up your skipped teeth then. I didn't know if it was a touchy subject right now. I forgot you went to the dentist.
Yeah, I did. I'm supposed to get the Invisalign.
Yeah. Didn't you buy a $60 mouthpiece?
Yeah,
and all it did was tear up your mouth even worse.
Yeah, I bit my tongue like a dozen times, bleeding.
That's scary. We have this show now. You have to be careful. You can't tear up your mouth that much. You can't come on here and hey, welcome everybody. It's Groomer Humor. You can't do that. You have to be able to speak.
And I have to be careful to take it out before we do the show too.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't sound them like this either.
Yeah, you can't.
Sorry, guys, I got my mouth caught in.
Yeah, I got my mouth. I got a tooth hanging on. You can't say they don't care about your tooth. They need to know stuff. Yeah, you guys aren't here. Obviously, I came into work the day after you went to the dentist, and he had this huge mouth guard in, and he forgot to take it out, and he just starts talking to me like it's okay, like nothing's changed from yesterday to today. And hey, how's it going, man? And it's just spitting everywhere, like I just did onto my microphone just now.
Oh, gross! Get your mouth guard out.
All right, this is already off the rails. We've been going for about 5 minutes.
Have a sip of water.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So let's get to
sphincter clips.
The sphincter clips. Let's get to the sanitary clip. Very, very important that we do this for our dogs. And there's a big difference between doing it to a male dog and a female dog, of course, because, their genitalia is in different spots. But again, with using the safe blade, the number 10 or the 15, basically what we're doing is we're clearing out all that hair, like say on a male dog, all that hair right up around his penis, his crotch area, even further up towards the belly buttons, because, we all know that when male dogs pee, it'll get on their fur underneath there. So you want to clear all that out because just so that they stay cleaner. If you don't clear it out, especially on a male dog there, all that urine is going to cake up. It's going to cake up again, kind of like it happens on Anthony. That's why, it's very important that Anthony does his sanitary clipping. You don't want it to cake up like that. So you want to clear all that out. It's a slightly different, or a lot different actually, on the female dog. Again, Anthony's a good example of this too. But on the female dog, the genitalia is placed completely different. It's not in the front, as we all know. It's more towards the back. Again, important to keep all that hair away from her little, I think it's called a vulva. Not a Volvo.
Just call it an Anthony. Why not?
Just call it an Anthony.
You're really on me today.
Stop acting like such a vulva.
Jeez.
We're really off the rails today.
You're acting like a sphincter. So I think I just like saying that word too much. I think that's a funny word. Sphincter. I just like saying
it's a funny word.
It really is. I don't know. I want to meet the person who came up with that word. Sphinct.
The sphincter.
It's the schv. The schv is fun to say. Sphincter. I like it.
So on the female dogs, again, very, very important to clip all that hair away and keep it clean. Again, we're keeping the dogs clean because we don't want to have any problems, even around the sphincter, like you're saying. And there's a lot of times dogs poop, especially certain breeds, like long-haired dogs. You got your Maltese, your Bijans, various dogs, mostly dogs with a lot of hair. A lot of times that poop will get stuck on their butt. And if you don't clean it off or keep the hair short back there, it'll just build up and just get disgusting. As we all know, anybody that's ever had a long-haired dog like that has had that problem, where it's sometimes it can get so bad where poop actually gets stuck to the sphincter, not allowing the dog, causing like a blockage, and not allowing the dog to poop. All kidding aside, it's a funny topic, really is, but it's also a very, very serious topic. We will really definitely want to keep these areas clean so that there's no infections going on. You can develop yeast infections on female dogs. It can cause really bad skin infections. If there's like that dried up urine and you don't clean it off and get that hair off, it's going to cause the skin to become very, very irritated over time. So it's very, very important that we do this, and we do it often. We do it every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, so that we don't fall into any problems like this,
What you said, too, if it cakes up where the dog can't poop properly, that could lead to like intestinal problems and really bad bloating and just extreme discomfort for the dog. So it definitely something you got to kind of keep under wraps, keep on top of, because it does happen. And, you don't want it to get that bad where now it's seriously affecting your dog's health, because infections happen. Like, if it gets that far, obviously there's going to be infection somewhere, because the dog can't properly discharge. It can get scary. So but as long as you stay on top of it, it won't happen to that extent where you're hurting your dog.
Yeah. And again, in our longer coated dogs, our longer breeds, it can mat up very quickly too, even around their private parts. You don't want all these big clumps of mats, developing, especially on the females, because it's very sensitive there. And, groomers see this all the time. We'll get a dog that hasn't been done for a year, and it's just, right by her private parts there. It's just one complete mat. It's hard to distinguish what is her and what is the mat. So when you're going in there with the blade, it's just a higher risk of, cutting her private part there or irritating it. So again, don't let it get to that level. If you see that, the dog is getting long back there and you're starting to smell like urine, get them to the groomer. Or if you groom at home yourself, do it and just keep those areas nice and short. This way, again, you just avoid having these problems,
Yeah, the thing with females too is that their private area is so exposed compared to most males, where we've done videos about it where you're doing sanitary clips and you can see it. It's all once it's off and you get a good look, it's like you realize, how does stuff not get in there and how does it not get infected? And this helps with that. If you stay on top of the sanitary, other than, because if you don't, then all that hair is just staying there, all that urine, like you said, and all that is just sort of hanging out and, could get in and, now, hello, urinary tract infection.
Right.
It's just
exactly. And they're, and the dogs are, they can't do it themselves, so they're completely dependent on us doing it, especially, with all these designer breeds. You got your Bijans, your Maltese, your Shih Tzus, your Golden Doodles. I mean, you name it. I mean, there's just tons of breeds that have so much coat where, they really rely on people to take care of them. It's just a high maintenance dog. And this is one of the more serious things about it. It's one thing to give your dog a haircut, but the sanitary clips are underrated. And in my opinion, I think that they should be done even in between groomings. If you don't get your dog groomed often enough. If you're going every 8 weeks getting your dog groomed, you might want to do a sanitary clip every 4 weeks just to make sure they're clean. A lot of groomers do. You do a la carte work, where, we do it here, where if somebody just wants a sanitary clip, we'll do that even without giving them a bath, even just, taking it down or nail clipping or ear cleaning. You could do it in between. You shouldn't, usually groomers will charge like a good price too. It's like anywhere between like $25, $35 or something. If you get a complete grooming, it's usually included. I mean, we do that. I'm pretty sure most professional dog groomers out there, if you're getting your dog groomed, they include the sanitary clip along with the nails and ears. But again, these areas are just very, very important to maintain.
It's worth, I would think of it as, if you go in between groomings, just think of it as a groomer checkup. Just sort of, you notice it's getting a little funky over there, a little bit matted up. Bring them in, let the groomer check it out and see if they could, take it off for you. And like you said, it's not a full grooming. It's not like it's something that's going to cost you, $100 or anything like that. So, people do that all the time. We have customers that will just kind of, come in every couple of weeks, but in between their groomings, and it's getting a little long, whatever. He's getting a lot of water on his face when he goes to eat or something like that. Oh, can you take his face a little bit shorter for us, real quick or whatever? We'll take the dog back for a half an hour and work on him if we have the time, and just sort of like do that. Sure. I think that's actually a good idea for things even other than the sanitary clip, just for anything you see, in between that you might,
like you're saying, look for signs too. A lot of times when the dogs start getting real messy back there, they'll start licking themselves. It's their attempt to try to clean themselves. If you see your dog, licking his privates a lot and trying to get back, or he's scooting a lot, inspect your dog. It might be because he's got a little bit of poop stuck to it. He doesn't like it. He's trying to get it off, but again, he can't. So look for signs. If they're licking or scooting, it means there's probably something there foreign that they're trying to get off. And they're kind of asking for your help. Help me out. Do me a solid,
Yeah, I'm glad you said to look for signs, because I've been preaching that like since we started all of this, where it's like really inspect your dog, and we've always said that, where it's like really
we preach it.
We always preach that, and it's like, and that's another thing, because dogs always do, they lick this, they lick that. We all know that. So it's like, but
lucky dogs.
Yeah, they're lucky. See your dog doing that, but actually see it. Don't just, don't always just write it off. Like you just said, it's sometimes if he's licking something or scooting a lot, it's easy to say, stop it, he's just being a dog. But then also it's like, but actually look, see how often he's doing it, to pay a little bit extra attention, and you may save yourself a little bit of a pain in the future, just because, it might just be as simple as he's saying, my area here is itching me, time for a bath. Sometimes your dog will let you know, hey, listen, I need a bath. I'm getting real dirty over here. It's irritating me, soothe it. Whatever.
Exactly. I mean, and it's true, because dogs get depressed too, especially when they're dirty. It's just like, when you and I not taking a shower, especially you.
Of course.
It's, I'm just saying, it's just, I'm pointing out the facts.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was feeling a little weird. A whole 3.5 minutes went by without you making fun of me. I was feeling like the show was missing something.
But seriously, they get depressed.
They do.
A lot of times, when we do this, we clip them back there, we give them a bath, they leave a completely different dog. They're just so happy. Again, it's like, why even allow it to happen? Don't let your dog have to go through this depressive period because whatever, they just need, quick clipping, just get it done, You're
reminding me of that what was it, that Kia Soul commercial where the hamsters are really overweight and they're depressed. Do you remember? And then they start working out, and then they're on the red carpet.
Yeah. I love those little hamsters.
Yeah, those hamsters. I love the one with the little one running away in the hospital, I think it is, and he jumps out the window. It was some plan that they had.
Yeah. The Kia Soul Turbo. They came out with the Turbo. Yeah. I like those little Kia Souls.
I think that it's funny that you've been such a fan of those hamsters, and then when you went to California, you rented the Kia Soul, and all you were doing for a week was raving to me about how awesome it actually is.
Yeah, it's like driving a go-kart. It was awesome.
Right. Oh boy, I did not think we were going to end up talking about hamsters during a Sphincter Clip episode.
I neither. It's just very. I like this episode though. I'm
Me too.
Totally into this, man. It's just the importance of it is unmatched, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what I think this show is? It's kind of like we're all into grooming. We want to make the dogs look pretty, but this is like checking the engine kind of thing.
Yeah,
Check your, you know what I mean? It's nice to wash your car, but what's the point if you're not taking care of the oil change and checking the belts, and you got to get this. This is the nitty gritty stuff.
This is what we do. We take topics, all topics, even if it's something like this, and not saying we make fun of it, but because we don't want to do that, because it's very serious, and we love our dogs and our cats and all that, but we're here to tell you how to avoid the problems, and I guess make fun of each other as much as we possibly can. That's just because, hey, we're good at it. We take topics and we talk about them. We talk about the stuff nobody else wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about sanitary clips. They're dirty.
No, they are dirty. Yeah.
We don't mind it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. If you have a dog, we're talking about, and groomers definitely know what we're talking about. I think maybe what we'll do is we will go to break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more of the grooming end of this, and talk a little bit more about safety. And if you want to avoid this problem altogether, you may want to pick a breed that doesn't grow a whole lot of hair around their parts.
True. Good idea.
But let's talk more about it. We're going to take a brief break, and we will come back to Groomer Humor right after this.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico-Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico-Chops with Omega-6, Omega-3, Vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico-Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. I'm Anthony Ray, hanging out with my dad, Rudy V, talking about sanitary clips, the word, and just really trying to drive that point home, guys. If you guys ever meet me in the street, just yell sphincter, and I'll probably
turn around.
Yeah, I'll turn around.
Yeah, we got to make up T-shirts that say sphincter on them.
Yeah,
now.
right. Exactly. Everybody's going to be like, "Wow, sphincter."
We know you
Take the
guys.
world by storm. You know what? They're back. I'm telling you, that word is not said enough. My dad had mentioned that some extra things about the grooming aspect, sanitary clips, some safety stuff. So, what is like a something safety, like a safety related?
Definitely, like we mentioned in the beginning, the blade is probably the most important thing. Don't ever use anything other than a 10 blade, possibly a 15 blade. If you don't know what these blades are, check out our YouTube channel or just, pull it up, Google it. Groomers should definitely know this, professional groomers anyway. The blade itself, using the proper blade, and the only blade that should ever be used in these areas is a 10 or a 15 because, again, they're safe blades. Also, another thing is when using these blades, please make sure that the blades are nice and cool. Use your cool lube, use your blade cool spray, whatever type you use, a bunch of different types. Oster makes them, Andis makes them, but definitely keep your blades nice and cool when doing this and spray them down often, because here's the thing that happens. Again, it's a gross topic, but this is, grooming is gross in a lot of aspects. So a lot of times when you are clipping, like, poop and stuff, a lot of it will get caught up in the blade. You have to clean that blade, have extra blades available because you really have to clean out those blades. You're going to have poop on them. And whatever you do, don't use that same blade on another dog without cleaning and disinfecting that blade. You don't want to, transfer any type of infection. A dog can have worms. If you're clipping a dog's butt and it's got a little poop stuck to it and he's got worms, and then you don't clean that blade properly, guess what? You're just going to give another dog worms, or, so
Create a little outbreak.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want an outbreak.
If you've seen the movie, it's bad news.
It's bad news. The little monkey, right, with the teeth.
Exactly. Oof. I bet he had worms.
He probably had worms.
I'm glad you said all
he needed was a sanitary clip.
All he needed was a sanitary clip.
To clip his butt. See,
No, you know what it was? I bet his groomer didn't spray the blade down.
That's what happened.
If you need proof of how important that is, go ahead and get a pair of clippers, let them run for 5 minutes, and then put them on your own sanitary area. It's the same thing.
You mean sphincter?
Yeah, put them on your sphincter.
Put them on your see how it feels.
Right. See how it feels. It's no different for the dog. So that is just because I feel like during the course of a really busy day, real easy to forget to spray your blade when you're doing that area. So it is just like literally make a note and put it on your wall next to wherever you groom or work on your dog to never forget to spray the blade, because they get so incredibly hot and they don't even have to be on long.
No.
Those cool lubes, those clipper cools is something that me and you have to order so far in advance, and much.
I order by the case. It's just,
literally can't work without it. You would never be able to work through the day without clipper cool.
Yeah, and a lot of times what will happen too, especially with, professional groomers, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's that you will get caught up in what you're doing. You're in there, you're down there, you're trying to, get through this mat, and you're trying to focus. And you may even forget. I find myself going, I got to spray my blade. How many times have I jumped up and go, whoa, I got to spray my blade?
Right, got to spray my blade.
Because you're trying to focus. So, yeah, that's a good idea. And always be conscious of spraying that blade down while you're going about it. Don't get caught up in.
Yeah, because you're in the zone. You're worried enough that you're already trying really hard to not hurt the dog, not cut the dog, especially in that area. So sometimes the last thing on your mind is, oh, wait, I got to stop. I hear you worked this entire time to get the dog in the correct position, and then you realize, oh man, wait, I got to stop and spray my blade. Them's the breaks. That's what you have to do. That maybe the dog hasn't stood for you in 20 minutes, but you finally get the dog to stand, and you forgot to spray your blade, so you have to stop. The dog's going to sit back down. You got to pick him back up. You got to do whatever you got to do. It's just that's just one tiny little aspect of grooming itself. It can be
exactly.
difficult.
Another thing I don't do too is I have 2 sets of sanitary blades. So because we also use 10 blades for other parts of the body other than the private parts, under the eyes, around the ears, around the muzzle, I don't like to use the same blades that I use the sanitary blades on. So I have a whole separate, I have 3 10 blades that I just use for sanitary blades, and another 3 10 blades that I use for doing, like, say, poodle faces or underneath the eyes on a Shih Tzu. Because you don't want a dirty blade that you used on the butt and then put it around the eyes, and now the dog gets, an infection in his eyes because you're transferring that bacteria to the eye area. So again, just I think keeping our blades organized and clean are very, very important in the aspect of dog grooming. Yeah.
That's really, that's pretty general too. That's pretty much with everything. I think like probably 90% of grooming is organization and disinfecting.
Absolutely.
And
it's so much cleaning.
Cooperation from the dogs or cats. Yeah. But we spend a lot of time disinfecting every day, every week.
Every day. Every single day. We come in on Mondays and we just do like a total, it's overkill, like we've talked about in other shows, But if you guys want to see us in action, just go to our YouTube channel, go to Grooming by Rudy. We just posted a video recently on sanitary clipping our dogs, and one is like a matted sanitary clip, so you can get an idea of how bad it can actually get. But check that out on Grooming by Rudy on YouTube if you really want to see us actually doing it. Yeah,
that was a good video. It's a little jarring to film.
A little bit.
It's, again, like we said earlier, this isn't always not an easy topic. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm having an easy time talking about it, I guess. But it's a touchy, when we put this episode together, we were like, I hope that, we don't want to gross any of you guys out or anything, but it's all things grooming, man. We're all things grooming.
Well, listen, you got surgery shows out there, you got doctor shows, and you got vet shows showing you, the nitty gritty of surgery and all that stuff. And, and grooming has its jarring moments too.
Yeah, it does. Have you seen that documentary on Netflix? What was it called? Something post-mortem. Obesity post-mortem or something?
No,
have you seen that? Oh, no. My goodness. You just reminded me of it.
As soon as you said mortem, though, I went,
Yeah, it's very...
That means dead, right?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm not actually 100% I know what sphincter actually means. I'm not, when I say that not to stay on this word, but I'm not 100% sure I know what part I'm talking about.
We back to sphincter.
Yeah, we're back to sphincter, I think. Oh, we should write a comic book and the villain could be Dr. Sphincter. Who wouldn't be afraid of that? That guy can't be up to no good.
No, exactly. That studies post-mortem.
That means death, right? Oh, man. I really hope you guys are laughing.
I know.
Because if you're not, we are 2 real morons right now.
Exactly.
I mean, this is like...
I'm having fun though. I like it. I like to laugh.
That's true. I really, what's great is we're starting to get a lot of guests in the works, which we're super super excited about because
Amy Elliott Smith.
Yeah,
man, I miss Amy.
Oh God, I mean, Amy should just be on the show every week. She was so good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
shout out to Amy Elliott.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Amy.
UK.
Yes. If you didn't hear that episode, if you're watching on Pet Life, it should be right next to this one or 2 next to it by the time this comes out. If you listen on YouTube, definitely look up our Groomer Humor playlist and check out Was Getting Schooled UK style so you could see our conversation with Amy Smith. She was so funny and so professional and
a great
ironically, and she was a comedian too. We found after the show. Yeah, I wish I would have known that because I don't think we asked her any questions about that. But after the show, she was so cool. We were chatting with her for a little while, and she mentioned she did comedy just like us for a while.
So
no wonder
funny.
she was so good at it. She's better than us at it, actually.
I just think you know what it is. All dog groomers are nuts. That's what it is. So dog groomers you got to be nuts to be a dog groomer. So
100%.
We're just that type of person that would do comedy or something nuts.
You got to be crazy. I remember. Do you remember that show Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
With was it Mike Rowe? I think his name was.
Rowe, yeah.
Yeah, that
like
guy
Mike
was great. And he did dog grooming was one of the. Well, he did a thing on dog grooming, and it wasn't even. It was a decent episode, but it wasn't even the half of how dirty this job really could get. Yep. You know, I hope to rectify that one day. I want to like get in touch with Mike Rowe and be like, dude, that was a good episode, but we got to let's really show everything that happened.
Come to our shop.
Yeah, exactly. Come to our shop. And half the other, I mean, maybe he didn't want to do like too dirty, but some of the stuff that guy did was any sewer episode I'll pass.
Yeah. But yeah, getting back to the sanitary clips, listen, if you want to avoid, some of these problems, get a dog that doesn't require a whole lot of grooming. You won't have this problem with, say, like a French bulldog, pit bull, miniature pinchers. You won't have this problem because they just don't grow hair. They're flat coated dogs. But, if you do have a dog like Bichon, Maltese, Shih Tzu, like we said, Cocker Spaniel, Golden Doodles, etc., definitely stay on top of this sanitary clip and keep them nice and clean so that avoid any problems. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good. That makes a lot of sense. I think we've said sphincter enough, don't you think?
We got it all in. We got our sphincter talk in.
I might have one more left. I'm not going to tell you when it's coming.
You just keep saying it because it's making me laugh.
Yes, exactly.
I'm saying it.
All right, I got one more, but it's a surprise.
Stop acting like such a sphincter, Anthony.
All right, let's wrap things up here.
Wrap it up.
All right, wrap it up. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. As always, we'd like to thank our producer and also apologize to our producer for this episode in advance because of how much we're saying sphincter. And so thank you, Mark. Thank you for putting up with that. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel. It's called Grooming by Rudy. That's Grooming by Rudy on YouTube.com. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. We want to hear from all you guys. You could also like Grooming by Rudy on Facebook. Follow Grooming by Rudy on Instagram and Twitter. It has been an absolute pleasure. And until next time, take care of yourselves and your sphincters.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.